Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my sisters. You can
Good
hear
morning.
me?
Yes.
Yeah. So today's my topic is upon on Christmas. As you know, from September the Christmas starts, especially in Philippines and some other places. The Christmas starts from September. The Christmas tree is out, the decoration is out, and everyone is busy in decorating, lighting, and all are in excitement and happiness. So during this Christmas night, it is a 24th chill night, and one 3 years old girl, she is very happy and excited, and she is going around the Christmas tree, and and she's just looking at the gifts which is put around the Christmas tree, and she's like very excited. She's very eager to know what is inside the gift. So every gift she takes and she check like, oh, maybe this is some. She's just figuring out like, oh, maybe this is the one and that is the one. And from one of the gift box, the bow falls down. And so what she do? She take up the bow. This is looking. Everyone can see the bow. You can see the on the gift box we have this bow. So she take up the bow and she puts it on her head. She puts it on her head and she ran to her mummy, and she says to mummy, "Mummy, see, I am a present. I am a gift." And happily she starts laughing and dancing, and and mummy also, she starts laughing. So I just want to start that all of us are gift, and all of us are present to God. What you have, what you are, is a God gift to you, and what you do with that gift is your gift to God. So this Christmas, I just want to say what you're going to lay in front of the manger. So I'll try to open the screen. I don't know how to.
Sister Dolly, you can help.
Sister,
So you can
is a
send that to
PowerPoint?
any
Have
of
you
us.
clicked on your PowerPoint?
It's a PowerPoint.
You
Okay,
open the
just
PowerPoint.
press function F5. Or down, there should be a small little button on your top, just down at the bottom on the right side.
Uh-huh.
There is another button. Okay.
You can see the slide.
No, it's blank actually. It's white. Okay, sister, just stop share. Just say stop share.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Now I can share.
I will, no, 1 second. I will just show you 1 second. Yeah. For example, when I open up over here, right? Here at the bottom here, you can see my cursor. Bottom over here on the third one, there should be a point where you say, the third window where you say share screen, and it goes to a full screen. It will blow up to your PowerPoint.
Now I'll go to share screen.
Yes. So I will stop share, and then you click on share screen.
Okay.
Share screen, PowerPoint slide. Did you see where your PowerPoint? Click on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then yes, there it is. You can keep it like this also.
Okay.
That's not a problem. Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you see this picture, is a similar picture what one sister has shared last means 2-3 weeks back, but she shared it from Gospel of Luke. It is about a sinner woman, but this I took the passage from Gospel of John, John 12:1-8. So I'll start reading the verse from Gospel of John 12. I'll start reading from 2. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at a table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of perfume. So by point number one is a personal gift. The gift that Mary offered was very personal to her. It was a gift of thanks. She did not have to give it, and nobody has forced her to give. Martha didn't say that, Mary, you go and take that perfume and pour it on Jesus' feet. And why she chose the feet? Feet is not the attractive part of the body, but she chose that one. She humbled down. She went to the lower part, and she gave the heart of gratitude. She her heart was filled with the thankfulness, with gratitude. She was not knowing like what shall I do. What she became like, this is no, any gift I give is not enough for what Jesus has done in their life. If you see the previous chapter, chapter 11, uh, her brother, two sisters, that is Martha and Mary, and her brother is Lazarus. And we have seen in the previous chapter how Lazarus raised from the dead, how Jesus, he came on the fourth day, and uh, he brought Lazarus from death to life. We have seen in this previous chapter. So this when and the brother was very dearly to Martha and Mary. So they were so happy, so excited that my brother is back. Jesus brought him back even after 4 days. There was a delay, but Jesus brought him back because of the compassion heart and the love he has for Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. So when Jesus came to the house of Martha and Mary, Mary was so happy and excited for what Jesus has done in their life. They brought their brother back, and she was not knowing what should I do, how I'll express my gratitude, how I'll express my thanks. Mary's gift was prompted by love and thanks for what Jesus has done for her. This is the foundation of true worship. So I want to share one verse, Romans 12, verse 1. Therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Here you see the word offer. This is the key word. This is the key word, offer. Worship is all about offering ourselves to God. When we go to church, we offer ourselves to God. It says here that motivation is because of God's mercies. Worship is our response to God's love. God made the first move. We offer everything we have to Him because He has already given everything He had for us. And I'm sure today morning, we all have something to thankful to God. For me, it's like we have a new morning. We are breathing normally, and many blessings we got it from God. I'm thankful for that, And I'm sure every sisters over here, they are thankful for many things, many blessings in our lives, and many things what Jesus has done, miracles in our lives. So we are thankful for that. Worship is not about us, but about the one we worship. The focus is God. We do not matter what we get out of worship. It is what we give that is important. So the first one we saw, it is a personal gift. Now the second point is a costly gift. Verse 4 and 5. But one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why was not this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. Now we see this perfume. This perfume was very costly, very expensive. When the time the Jesus was born, the wise men came to the manger and they brought the best gift and very costly gift like gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They bought a very costly and valuable gift to baby Jesus. So the same thing Mary did. She bought a very valuable and costly gift, which is sealed in the container that she bought was something of great value and worth. It was worth a year's wages. And now just imagine this, our salary. Suppose our salary per month is 200 KD into 12, how much it will be? So that money, that much money, that 12 full years wages she spent on Jesus. That was so costly. Following Jesus is costly. It will cost your time. It will cost your life. In other nations also, it will cost your life. So whatever the cost, remember to give God the very best that you can offer. When we go to work, our management buy our time. So time is very precious, and time is like whatever the time we have. We have such a busy, as a ladies, we have a very busy schedule. We have housework, we have to go to work, and then our children, this work. So many things, we are so much busy. We make ourselves so much busy. But even out of this, if we give some time to Jesus, that will be more valuable. It doesn't matter, it should be a perfume, it should be a costly perfume, but it is also our time given to Jesus. That is also valuable and precious. It is interesting that Judas determined the value of the gift by the amount of time it will take to earn. But whenever Judas told that why this is just a waste of money, but as you know about Judas, like he was a finance manager that time. He was dealing with the finance. He was looking after the money, and his intention is always to steal the money from that whatever the money is giving. So whenever he saw this such an expensive gift, automatically in his mind it came like, this is money. Time is the currency of our lives. Ultimately, what Jesus really wants from you is not your treasure or talent, but your time. He wants you. He wants to spend time with you. Time is more precious commodity we have. When we go to, you make a living from the salary. You became so busy. And then John's add the footnote that Judas was not really interested in the poor, but that he would help himself to the money bag. But he was more interested about the money so that he can use for his personal use. So that was his intention. We saw the first point is a personal gift. The second was a costly gift. And now the third is a timely gift. Verse 6 to 8. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. Leave her alone, Jesus replied. It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. So during the Christmas time, some gifts are seasonal. Like if we buy the gift and if we buy a gift to our friend or to our relatives, and we give that gift after 1 month or 2 months, it is meaningless. And or even whatever, like for our children, they will just say, oh, what is this gift? Even for the birthday gift, if we don't give on time, it becomes meaningless. There is no excitement, or there is no, like, no happiness, or we will not see any happiness on our children face. So some gifts are timely. Here in this verse, Jesus replied that it was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. What is trying to say? Like he's saying to Judas, leave her alone. Whatever he's doing, whatever she's doing on time. Whatever the gift she's giving on time. Because the next chapter, chapter 13, if you see, immediately when he leave the house of Mary and Martha, immediately Jesus goes on the triumphant entry. He's riding on the donkey, and that full week he's busy. He's proceeding toward the Jerusalem, and there he was rebuked. He was the Pharisees. They gave some this thing, like, and that whole process of crucifixion. He was very busy the other week. So Mary took this chance. Mary took this opportunity. She's saying, today is my time. Today is the act I should make it, and today is my opportunity. So she was so excited. She ran and took the perfume and poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped it with her hair. She wiped the feet with her hair. So just imagine what a personal gift, what a personal expression of love and thankfulness she had toward Jesus. Even in our lives, many times God is prompting us. God is prompting us that you give time to someone, share the good news, or even whatever the gift and talent we have, use it for the kingdom purpose. Because once this time is gone, it will never come back. I want to share one of my own experience, like with my brother. I came from a Hindu family, and my mother family is Hindu. So whenever God was prompting me to call my brother, and there was some fight between us, and in my spirit it was saying to call him, but I never called because of the grudge or bitterness, and I never got that opportunity to talk with him after that. He's not with us now. So I feel that regret, I feel that regret in my heart, that what many times God is prompting me to do this, to do that, but we have so many excuses in our lives. We have so many things like, oh, today I'm busy, or many times, and during this pandemic, we have so many things to be done to meet the people who have lost their loved ones. We means God has prompted us, but we refuse many times, and that is the regret. So whatever the Mary has done, she has done on time. That is her. That is that is a true act of worship from her side. And whenever God is prompting us to do it for His kingdom, whatever it is, whether it is time, whether you can cook the food, whether you can baking, or whatever the talent you have, give it to your God's kingdom. It is never wasted. Whatever we do is never waste. And the last thought, when Mary poured the perfume on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, it says the whole house was filled with the fragrance. The whole house with the perfume, with the good smell, with the fragrance. One of the joy of giving to God is that giving spill over and blesses the lives of people as well. When you give your time, your life, your service to the Lord, other people's lives get blessed as well. The fragrance will go to house, to our neighbors, to our friends, to our colleagues. Wherever we go, we carry the fragrance. We carry the fragrance which is full of joy, which is full of life, which is full of Jesus. So the act of worship of Mary is the first. It is a very personal gift. The second, the costly gift. And the third is the timely gift. And in Proverbs, it says that how good is a word spoken in due season. What words do you need to speak during this Christmas season? What timely gift do you need to give? Because later will be too late. With all this about my message, or you're going through the parables, you're listening the church messages, all whatever you're doing, but just remember one thing. Matthew 22 verse 37. This is the first and greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Even you forget my message or you forget anything, but remember only one thing, Matthew 22 verse 37. This is the first and greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And I want to close this session with a small story. I started with the story. Now I'll end with the story. There was a poor family with a small daughter, and it is a Christmas time, and they were very poor. And the girl was trying to make a gift for her father, and she wasted a lot of this wrap papers, wrapping papers while she's doing that. And whenever her father saw it, he's saying, why you're wasting so much wrapping paper? It is so costly. But she just kept quiet, and she made a very beautiful gift with a box. And on the Christmas day, she went to her father and she said, Father, this is for you from me. And then the father was feeling guilty that day I shouted at my daughter, and she bought for me such a beautiful gift. And when he opened the wrapper and when he opened the present box, the box was empty. Then again he got angry. He said, my daughter, nothing is in the box. What you gave me? Daughter said, no, father. I blew the kisses in the box. only for you, Papa, only for you. So that is our heart. Her heart was so precious, that was her thought, her mind that the little child had. So God sees our heart, our attitude. It should not be any material thing. It should not be any costly thing, but He sees our heart. Thank you, sisters. This is my message for today.